Hey everyone, it's Kid of PAS here, and I just wanted to make a really quick video and talk about a little bit about my upbringing and the way that I was alienated. So, I don't know if you've seen the show The Following. It's this new show. It's got Kevin Bacon in it. It's pretty good. If you haven't seen it, I urge you to go ahead and check it out. But the reason why I think that this show is so interesting is because of the premise of it, okay? So basically, what you've got, the guy in the picture to the right of Kevin Bacon, he's like this cult leader, and he's been able to, from prison, he's been able to kill the woman who he didn't finish killing. He's been able to infiltrate his wife and kidnap their child and put off a bomb and some other stuff, right? Because he was able to build this following of people who were all part of his cult, and he's infiltrated into layers of the military. It's crazy, right? Well, the reason why this show is so interesting to me is because a lot of the things that this cult leader has done are things that my mother did as well. She didn't do them in the sense that she was killing people, but she did them in the sense that that was the way that she controlled us and kept us away from our biological family, biological father and his family, was because she would tell us that they were a cult and that we needed to be careful of who our friends were, who we hung out with, what we told people, so on and so forth, because we had literally escaped this cult, and that we needed to be careful to not get sucked back in. And one of the ways that she did this as young children, she set us down, and she warned us about different things, different triggers that they would use to be able to suck us back in. And one of the ways that she did this was by Barbies. She told us that Barbies were linked to the occult, and that they had triggers, and if we played with them, we would all of a sudden want to go back to the cult. Trolls, I never had them, but I was never allowed to have them because trolls were tied to the cult, and they had a trigger, and it could set us off some way. Cabbage Patch Dolls, had a ton of them, had to bag them all up, throw them away, because once again they were tied to the cult. And it wasn't until years later in my life that I discovered that they weren't really tied to the cult. They were tied to the occult, occult, however you want to say that. I found a book in my mother's room, and I was like, that's interesting. And it's not until now that I discovered that really what she had done is she'd gone and read all this stuff, made up this whole big story, and told us that my biological father and his family were a cult, and that we needed to avoid them and any triggers that might set us off and make us want to go back to them. So this is just something interesting that I've noticed recently just in watching television. I wanted to share it with you all, and if you have anything similar that you want to share with me, feel free to connect with me at kidofpas@gmail.com.